Right now at 5, the Patriot Guard Riders roll onto Missouri Southern's campus for a special Veterans Day celebration honoring service members.
And today's going to be a very beautiful, nice and sunny day. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Governor Kelly says the federal shutdown affects more than just SNAP recipients, as many state employees face unpaid weeks.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KLM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. It's weird to think that we're already halfway through the work week almost.
I know, the week is going by so quick, especially with the nice weather that is here and will continue through the rest of the work week.
It was such a difference waking up and walking out to my car this morning compared to Monday. I was much happier walking out to my car this morning than I was to Monday.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, you're still going to need a coat this morning. However, it is going to start to warm up as we progress through the day. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. You can see nice clear skies, and that trend is going to continue through the day. It is still on the cooler side, like I said, so you're still going to need a coat as you're getting out the door this morning. 7th Range Line, same thing. Not a lot of people are out this morning. I mean, it is still pretty early, so people are just waking up, probably just getting their morning coffee, going to MoDOT camera for Range Line I-44. It shows a little bit of haze, but that's probably just the camera right now, because right now our fog tracker looks really good. Driving conditions across the entire area are very clear, but just be careful driving no matter what, even if there is no fog, because fog can just appear very quickly and then disappear. But our temperatures, like I said, they're on the cooler side right now. We're seeing lower 30s. Neodesha, you're at 33, Chanute 32. So you guys are on the cooler side, and Joplin at 44. So mid 30s to mid 40s, and like I said, it's still pretty cool, and I feel like temperatures are really no different. They're around the same there for what it feels like outside, so a jacket is needed at least as you're getting out the door this morning. Taking a look at our future track today at noon. Sunny, clear skies. Winds are kind of coming out of the northwest and out of the south, so we're getting a blend of some winds at this moment. But as we progress through the day to about 4 o'clock, winds are going to start shifting from the northwest coming out of the southeast, and that will eventually be bringing in some nicer, warmer weather for today. And that's what we're looking forward to for your school day. 41 degrees out the door, 65 at lunch and recess, and 67 as you're heading home. Sunny skies through the entire day. That's why today is going to be so incredibly nice, getting up to 67 for our high about that 3 o'clock hour with nice, calm winds. But I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. Across our nation and across the 4 states yesterday, people came together on this Veterans Day to celebrate the men and women who served our country. We start our coverage of Veterans Day events in Carthage. The city, through its Veterans Day parade, businesses, organizations, schools, and more turned out for this year's parade, which took place in the evening as a special way to light up the night and tribute to those who serve and continue to serve our country. Pitt State also honored local veterans yesterday with its annual Veterans Day ceremony. KLM's Kenny Foreman tells us what the day truly means to the community.
Every Veterans Day since 2004, members of the Pitt State community gathered right here at the PSU Veterans Memorial to honor the men and women who have served their country. For a school that has seen plenty of military members walk through its doors, paying homage is important.
We have a lot of students who have gone on to serve in the military and come back, give back, and serve in their communities. It's important because they do provide everyday support within our communities.
The keynote speaker, PSU grad and Purple Heart recipient Dr. Carol Meza.
Freedom is never free. It is earned, it is protected, and it is carried forward by those who are willing to put others before themselves. May we honor that freedom not just with our words, but with our actions.
The founder of the Outside the Wire Veterans Foundation, Meza felt inspired to share a message to the local 6th graders in attendance that there are plenty of ways they can serve.
You don't have to wear a uniform, you don't have to have a certain job to serve your community. You can start at a young age, and I just felt it was the perfect timing to relate that message to them. especially because they were our largest population today.
And the university hopes the youngsters leave with a better understanding of the foundation of their country.
It's very important for us to share those lessons. It's not just something that's contemporary, it is something that we have built upon, our country has built upon over time, and of course we will have the need for the future as well to make sure that our freedoms are maintained.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Those interested in adding a name to the memorial paving stones can contact the PSU Office of Advancement. Well, Missouri Southern State University honored service members yesterday as the Patriot Guard Riders rolled onto campus for a special Veterans Day celebration. The event featured music from the MSSU Brass Quintet and remarks from State Senator Jill Carter and Gary Gray, a U.S. Navy Vietnam veteran and ride captain with the Southwest Missouri Patriot Guard. Vietnam veterans gathered at the memorial wall in Washington, D.C. for the annual reading the names of the engraved on the memorial. More than 58,000 servicemen and women gave their lives in service of their country during the Vietnam War. There are 6.2 million living Vietnam veterans currently residing here at home or abroad. Taps was played to end the ceremony. In 1918, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, World War I officially ended. A year later, then-President Woodrow Wilson celebrated the first Armistice Day. After a Second World War, it was renamed Veterans Day. As Jared Hill reports, there are commemorations around the country to honor all of America's veterans.
President Trump laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, marking Veterans Day at Arlington National Cemetery as the nation's commander-in-chief.
We say the words too often left unsaid. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
16 million Americans served in World War II. At the memorial in Washington, D.C., a thank you to the 45,000 still alive.
The story of America endures because of their service.
Hello, everybody.
Former President Barack Obama surprised these Korean and Vietnam War vets arriving in D.C. on an honor flight from Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, say, can you see?
From rural Iowa to the streets of New York, Americans gathered to salute those who served.
Pretty happily to see the veterans of today who seem like they're in pretty good shape. And it's different than it was years and years and years ago after the Vietnam years.
The Veterans Day Parade here in New York City is billed as the largest commemoration of military veterans in the country. Many of the others this year were canceled, though, part of the fallout from the ongoing government shutdown. The Flag for Every Hero event at California's Riverside National Cemetery was called off without the VA staff to coordinate the logistics of placing nearly 300,000 flags. So a local group stepped up.
And especially being a veteran, it just makes you feel good because it's people appreciating what you did.
Across Europe, ceremonies marked the end of World War I. In Belgium, red poppy flowers dropped onto soldiers and others gathered for the commemoration. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Vice President J.D. Vance, a former Marine, said during the event at Arlington that the most valuable resource the U.S. has is the thousands of young people who sign up to serve the country. Well, after voting for the proposed government spending bill, Senator Roger Marshall says his focus now is on giving Kansans more control and transparency in how they pay for health care.
Some $35 billion that we've been giving to insurance companies, we want to give that to patients, to consumers. We want to put that in your own healthcare savings account and allow you to make choices of where you want your healthcare. The other piece we're going to add is a price tag bill. So we are going to force every hospital, imaging center, laboratory to show patients what their prices are before you had that surgery done.
Healthcare has been a point of debate between Republicans and Democrats, with both sides clashing over how to lower costs and expand access without adding to the federal deficit. Well, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly visited our studio as the U.S. House prepares to vote on the spending bill that could end the federal shutdown. She notes it's not just SNAP recipients struggling. Many federal and state employees whose jobs depend on grants are also facing unpaid weeks. The House Rules Committee kicked off what's expected to be a lengthy meeting last night ahead of today's floor vote on the funding package to reopen the government. Today will mark the first day the House is back in session in nearly 2 months. As Erica Brown reports, all of this comes as SNAP benefits for millions of Americans remain in flux.
At a Veterans Day event Tuesday, President Trump congratulated Republican leaders in Congress after the Senate finally passed a funding bill to end the government shutdown.
We're opening up our country. Should have never been closed.
8 members of the Democratic caucus split with the party, voting with Republicans to support the package that will fund the government through the end of January, extend funding for SNAP benefits for a full year, and reverse shutdown-related layoffs of federal workers. But the deal does not include an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits, the issue at the heart of the deadlock, sparking backlash from some Democrats. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives will reconvene Wednesday for the first time since the shutdown began and is expected to vote on the amended bill that could reopen the government as soon as Wednesday night. House Democrats have slammed the measure, saying they'll continue their fight for affordable health care.
And Democrats will continue to press the case to say to our Republican colleagues, you have another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
As the spending package moves through Congress, staffing issues, delays, and cancellations continue at airports nationwide. On Tuesday, more than 1,000 flights were canceled.
I will never travel again. If I travel again, I will drive, because I don't trust any airports.
SNAP benefits also remain in flux until the government reopens. Tuesday, the Supreme Court extended a temporary pause on a lower court's order that required the Trump administration to fully fund the food assistance benefits in November. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
This shutdown, which began on October 1st, became the longest in U.S. history on its 36th day, which was a week ago. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, parents of girls who died in the Camp Mystic flood file lawsuits claiming pure complacency led to the tragedy. Plus, the cast of Now You See Me, Now You Don't goes to magic school to learn real tricks for the third film in the franchise. And we have nice and sunny conditions in the 4 states. Donald has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, it's been more than 4 months since the deadly flooding at Camp Mystic in the Texas Hill Country. Now, families of some of the girls who were killed are suing the owners of the camp. The families say it was a preventable tragedy. Jason Allen has reported extensively on this disaster and has our update.
When a swollen Guadalupe River rushed through central Texas on July 4th, 25 girls, their 2 counselors, and the director at Camp Mystic were among more than 130 people who died. Now parents of several of those girls are holding camp operators responsible.
This wasn't an act of God. This was an act of pure complacency.
Blake Bonner testified to Texas lawmakers in August that his daughter Lila paid the price for following an emergency plan that was destined to fail. One of the suits accuses the Eastland family that owns the camp of choosing to house young girls in cabins sitting in flood-prone areas. The suit highlights alleged instructions to campers to stay in those cabins when they easily could have walked to safety in a matter of minutes. After the first flash flood warnings were issued, the suit alleges rather than turning to the cabins, they convened the grounds crew and started securing equipment.
The actions of those at Camp Mystic are not the reasons that these young ladies died.
Michael Watts represents the Eastland family and Camp Mystic.
They never got warning that that level of flood was coming, and that was a function of the state of Texas.
Mystic is planning to open again next summer on a part of the property that did not flood in July. Summer camps are a deeply ingrained part of the community in Central Texas. We asked residents Lindsay Robertson and Elizabeth Schneider about the reopening plans when we went back to the region last month.
What was your reaction when the announcement came from Camp Mystic that they would reopen next summer?
Joy. Relief.
Happiness, joy.
Robertson clung to a tree to survive the flood, while her son,
Palmer, you in a tree!
called out to a friend for help. The survival of the camps is important to recovery, they said, both for the community and for their own children who attended Camp Mystic last summer.
We've all lost a lot, and to get a glimmer of hope just brings us so much peace and joy amidst the grief.
You feel like you can do those things at the same time.
Of course.
The attorney for Camp Mystic said there are no plans to reopen the portion of the camp where the girls died until all of the safety steps can be taken to ensure there is no risk to anyone who stays there again. Jason Allen, CBS News in Fort Worth.
Well, that's it for Nation Watch. Still to come, moving from the military into the medical field. Plus, we have nice and sunny conditions coming up. Donald has a look at your Wednesday forecast. The Jonas Brothers get a jump start on Christmas as a group of award-winning actors heads to magic school. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
4 farts. Securing a role in the latest Now You See Me, Now You Don't movie meant a trip to magic school for some of the new cast members.
We're playing the greatest magicians in the world, and so as an audience, when you're watching us, you want to believe that we're actually doing some of these tricks. And so our director, Ruben, he encouraged us to learn as much as we could to make it look as real as possible.
This marks the third film in the franchise as the Four Horsemen take on another heist. Now You See Me, Now You Don't appears in theaters this week. For the first time, Katniss Everdeen is headed for the stage. Nearly 20 years after the Hunger Games novel captivated readers, it's been reimagined as a live play in London.
It's definitely an experience, whether you know of the franchise or not. It is an experience, it's a spectacle, and it is a whirlwind of 2.5 hours.
The play officially opens tonight. Reviews of preview performances have been mixed. The red carpet calls for a family reunion as the Jonas Brothers unveil their holiday present to fans.
Nothing like Christmas to help a family rediscover its magic.
The boy band stars in a very Jonas Christmas movie, billed as fun, festive, and family-friendly.
At its core, it's just about three brothers trying to reconnect, and I think that's a theme a lot of us can really connect to. And some really fun music and great cameos, so you gotta give it a watch.
The movie streams on Disney Plus and Hulu beginning this Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Certainly a lot of really great options out there for anybody. Well, now here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
Sunny and clear skies today. We'll have our high in the upper 60s and highs in the 70s return to end our work week. I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up after the break. It's a cold, clear morning. We can take a look at downtown Pittsburgh. You can see clear skies, and I hope anybody saw the Aurora Borealis last night. It was extremely beautiful. It was a little bit on the lower, like right around the horizon, but we definitely got to see it this far south. 7th and Range line, not too bad. People are starting to get out, do their morning routines, get their morning coffee. Definitely needed to warm up a little bit this morning because it is on the cooler side still. Range line I-44 from our MoDOT cams. A little bit on the hazier side, but that's probably just the camera because our fog tracker looks really good right now. We're having good conditions all through the area. So like I said, if you're out driving, the fog is definitely holding off for right now. All right, taking a look at our regional temps and why we're going to see this nice warm up this week. We're having a blend of some southerly warm winds and some northwesterly cooler winds, but eventually those southerly winds are going to start to take over in our area and bring in some nice sunny, warm temperatures today and through the rest of the week. Taking a look at our future track today at noon. So there's that blend of wind from the northwest and the south. And eventually, as we progress through the day to about 4 o'clock and into the evening, you can start to see that wind shift. Eventually, it's going to be coming out of like the southeast, and that will eventually shift from the southeast to the south, bringing in those nice warmer temperatures through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. We'll see those winds, like I said, coming out of the southeast. By about 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we are going to have some clouds that are going to linger through the morning, but we are going to warm up pretty nice because of those southerly winds. Clouds by about noon are going to be there, but then by the time we get to the early afternoon into the early parts of our evening, we're going to see nice, clear, sunny skies with beautiful southerly warm winds. But our current temperatures, this is why I was talking about you might need a jacket and some warm coffee or tea. We're seeing lower 30s to mid 40s, so there's a pretty good range of temperatures. 44 in Joplin right now, and Neodesha, you're at 33 degrees, and Chanute at 32. So you guys are on the colder side out there to the west, but not too bad compared to what it was a couple of days ago. I feel like temperatures are no different, pretty much in that same exact range for the temperatures, just surface level. All right, taking a look at your day. 8 a.m., 44 degrees, sunny skies through the morning, getting up to 61 by 11 a.m. It's going to be a pretty nice morning. We're going to gradually warm up to that high of 67 degrees, and that's going to be about between the hours of 2 and 4 with calm winds and a nice sunny day. It's going to be a really nice day to get outside and enjoy nature, go on a nature walk, and just really just enjoy this nice weather, because it is not feeling like November, but it might feel like November a little bit overnight. Low of 46 degrees, but nice calm winds out of the south at 5 miles an hour. So a pretty nice day and even a decent evening into the overnight. So 67 degrees for today, warming up to 72 tomorrow. That's when our 70s are going to arrive. Friday, 75 degrees, even into Saturday and Sunday. Saturday could be 78 degrees. I would be surprised if we maybe could push 80 in some areas, but we're going to say 78 for our area right now. And 73 degrees, we are going to drop down a little bit on Sunday, and then there is going to be another front that's going to come through Sunday night into Monday, bringing some possible rain chances to start our work week next week and cool things back down into the 50s. And then you can see pretty much the rest of next week are going to have rain chances as well. So let's enjoy this nice, sunny, warm weather we're having through the work week and the weekend. But that's a look at your full forecast. Here is Sam with Health Watch.
Thanks, Donald. Those who've served know making the transition back to civilian life in the workforce can be challenging. Michael George looks at a program that trains veterans and active military members to use their skills in the medical field.
Adam Filati and Lionel Massey have been best friends since high school.
He's like my brother now, you know.
They joined the New York Army National Guard and deployed to Africa on the same mission in different units. When they returned, both were unsure what was next.
I had no idea what I wanted to do, came back. I was kind of lost. And it's kind of hard adjusting back to the civilian life sometimes.
They found a paid training program for veterans and active service members through Northwell Health. They graduated in 2024 and started on a new career path as nursing attendants at South Shore University Hospital.
What they're looking for is fulfill the next mission. It is that pride of belonging that they're seeking, where they can put in place all of the talent and all of those intangible skills that they learned in the military.
Blood pressure real quick. As nursing attendants, they provide basic care, taking vitals and helping patients, which they say relates to their service.
I think it prepared me because there was a lot of teamwork. So with that teamwork, it actually goes hand in hand a lot with what we do at the hospital, because you're always working together constantly with the camaraderie and, teamwork. So you kind of apply those skills from your background, and I love helping people.
The two friends are grateful to be on this journey together.
Going through this with my best friend, honestly, is the best thing that could have ever happened.
And they have this advice for others.
If you like being a hero, in the Army and everything, and you want to continue to be a hero in the civilian life, healthcare is actually a very good option. Just transition from one uniform to another uniform. Exactly.
They're both now on a state active duty mission, and their attendant jobs are on hold until that's complete. Michael George, CBS News.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, a police raid on a small Kansas newspaper results in a multi-million-dollar decision.
And clear and sunny skies today. We'll have our temperatures in the upper 60s. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Plus, Frontenac celebrates the grand opening of its first public library after a project that began in 2022.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KWAM Morning News. It's 5:33. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald Lakeith. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Are you having a great work week so far, Donald?
Honestly, it's been a great work week. We're finally at Wednesday. We're at hump day. And honestly, I couldn't ask for a better week for how nice the temperatures and weather has been in been over the last few days compared to how it was over the weekend.
And you're definitely getting into the groove of morning shows. I know you're doing a great job filling in for Chris Warner while he's on a much-deserved vacation. Don't worry, he's coming back Monday. But I think you're really getting used to how the mornings go because it is a lot of fun on here.
It is definitely a lot of fun. It's a lot of moving around. It's a lot of getting used to, but I'm actually starting to enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to doing maybe more in the future if Chris ever wants to take some more time off. But
yes.
But as of right now, we're kind of having a little bit of cool temperatures this morning, but it is going to start warming up. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh right now. Clear skies, it will eventually lead to clear sunny skies and a warm up by the time we get to the afternoon. But it is still a pretty cool morning. And actually, if you guys were up last night around like the 9 o'clock hour to midnight, the Aurora Borealis has made it all the way down here, and there's some pictures online you can actually see. It's very beautiful. So very nice clear skies last night that continued through this morning. Rangeline I-44 remote camera looking not looking too bad. A little bit on the hazier side, but that's probably just a camera because the fog tracker looks really good. Driving conditions right now across the entire area look really good as you're waking up, getting out the door, going to work, and the kids are getting ready to go on the school bus. Temperatures are okay. They're about the lower 30s to mid 40s across the area. 44 in Joplin. You guys are on the warmer side. Jay, you're about 32, and the Chanute, you're at 32 as well. So still cold out there, so you're still going to need a jacket this morning, and our feel-like temperatures are around the same. So surface temperatures and what it feels like outside are similar, but jackets are needed at least this morning before we get to the afternoon. All right, taking a look at our future track today at noon. We're seeing a blend of some winds here. We're seeing some winds coming from the northwest and also from the south. Eventually, as we progress through today and into the overnight, we'll start to see a wind shift from the northwest to the south that will eventually start bringing in some of those nicer temperatures today and tomorrow. But for our school day, 41 degrees out the door, 65 degrees in lunch and recess, 67 degrees as you're heading home, sunny skies through the entire day, and we're going to reach that 67-degree high by about that 3 o'clock hour and nice calm winds. But I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. A massive settlement has been reached in Kansas following a raid on a small-town newspaper in 2023. Marion County will now have to pay $3 million to 3 journalists and a city councilor. The settlement stems from raids conducted by the Marion Police Department at the Marion County Record newspaper and the homes of the paper's publisher and councilwoman. Authorities suggested the raids were based on belief that a reporter unlawfully obtained driving records of a restaurant owner before the newspaper published a story about her. Frontenac's first public library hosts its grand opening ceremony yesterday. The $4.5 million facility features 14,000 books, digital resources, and a community room. This week's ribbon cutting celebrates the completion of a project that began in 2022. A reminder, beginning today, Joplin's Ewart Park will be closed for renovations. The $10 million makeover will bring several major upgrades, including a new splash park, playground, and an ice skating rink during the winter months. City officials say the goal is to modernize the park while honoring the century-old legacy in the community. The project is funded through the city's Parks and Stormwater Sales Tax and is expected to be completed in mid to late 2026. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, private jets become more affordable with new shared flight options. Plus, a UK driving school uses virtual reality to train driving instructors before they hit the real road. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, now for a high-tech twist on teaching people to drive. A school in the UK is training driving instructors using virtual reality before they hit the real road. With VR headsets, trainees practice navigating tricky traffic and making split-second decisions. The system even gives teachers double mirrors so they can watch both their student and traffic around them.
So the real advantage of the VR is the fact that you are here in a classroom and you get to guarantee that you're going to see certain scenes and certain road environments, but also as well it takes the pressure off because ultimately you're in a safe environment and we can build up skills step by step by step.
Supporters say the hands-on experience without any risk could be a game changer, especially as more bicyclists and scooters share the streets. It's all gravy for Firehouse Subs fans this Thanksgiving. The firefighter-founded sandwich chain is selling gravy extinguishers to help fix any turkey disasters. All proceeds will go towards purchasing equipment for firefighters. The gravy extinguishers go on sale Friday for $20 online at firehousegravyrescue.com. ByHeart is expanding its voluntary recall of infant formula, now pulling all cans off of store shelves. At least 15 babies have been hospitalized across a dozen states with infant botulism after consuming the product. This as the CDC and FDA are investigating a broader outbreak of infant botulism that has affected more than 80 babies. The FDA says consumers should stop using the formula and throw it away, and to report any issues to a healthcare provider. An end to the federal government shutdown may be in sight, with the House set to take up the Senate's amended funding bill. But airlines have warned it could still take some time for air travel to get back to normal. More than 1,200 flights were canceled in the U.S. Tuesday, according to FlightAware, with air carriers expected to cut 6% of their flights for Wednesday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the upcoming weekend could be critical if the stalemate continues. Private jet travel exploded during the pandemic as wealthier travelers worried about getting COVID. Since then, it's remained popular, with new companies finding a market to offer shared jets at a slightly lower cost. Wendy Gillette has more on the trend in today's Travel Tuesday from Helsinki, Finland.
Soaring through the clouds in southern Finland looks sunnier on a private plane. An ACX jet has the ticket. Former flight attendant Jonas Nurmai co-founded the luxury aviation charter company.
It's very convenient when you come to Europe if you hire your own private jet or helicopter, because you get to save so much time.
Nurmai and a friend started the company during the pandemic with $1,000 and a rented helicopter. They've since expanded in a big way. This year's Golden Globe winners and presenters found their private jet trips in their event gift bags.
If you are used to flying first class and you are traveling with your family or friends, the private jet actually these days, it's not even that much more expensive.
And it comes with big perks, a VIP pickup from a commercial flight, private airport lounge with goodies to munch on, more treats on board, and creating your own schedule. Of course, all that comes at a price, which is why shared jet companies in the U.S. like JSX are flying high.
You're essentially buying onto this flight by the seat and retaining a lot of those same benefits that you would have if you were using private aviation.
That means checking in just 20 minutes before departure and bringing four-legged friends along for the ride. Bella Jimenez recently flew JSX from Westchester County, New York to Miami with Archie.
I think it's really cool that he can just ride alongside with me and it's just no fuss.
The shared jet model is so popular. Another company called Slate is partnering with White Elephant Resorts in Palm Beach, Florida and Nantucket, Massachusetts. The deal nets travelers 15% off a White Elephant property like the newly renovated cottages at Boat Basin, where we stayed for a special rate, and $250 savings on a Slate flight from New York, as well as a 6-month complimentary membership. More opportunities to take flight. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
JSX currently flies to 29 destinations on 50 aircraft. Slate operates between the Northeast and South Florida. Well, that's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
Clear but cold skies this morning will give way to sunny skies this afternoon with highs in the upper 60s, and that trend will continue through the rest of the work week. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Why are beef prices so high at the grocery store? President Trump is calling for an investigation. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. President Trump is accusing foreign-owned meat packers of driving up the price of beef in the U.S., and the Attorney General says the Department of Justice has opened an investigation. And the president talking about it in a Truth Social post. No targets of the probe were identified. Experts say it's unlikely an investigation would result in lower prices at grocery stores, and a trade group representing meat packers said they're not to blame for the high prices of beef. Senate Republicans have introduced a new food ingredient disclosure bill. It's aimed at overhauling how food ingredients are reported and reviewed by the FDA. Now, the legislation responds to growing calls from the Make America Healthy Again movement, which has criticized the current system, allowing companies to add ingredients deemed, quote, generally recognized as safe without explicit FDA approval. And a new study suggests Americans have a lot of trust when it comes to farmers. According to a Catch 'em Appetite for Change consumer research study, 79% of Americans trust farmers to, quote, do the right thing in serving the public. The National Milk Producers Federation says that number is higher than grocery stores and food companies. The survey of 1,000 U.S. adults was conducted back in July. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Donald with a look at your forecast.
It is a cold start to our morning, but it is clear skies. If you didn't get the chance last night to see the Aurora Borealis, this is about between 9 p.m. and midnight. It was very beautiful, and these clear skies definitely allowed some nice viewing. It got all the way as far south as us here. 7th and Range line, not looking too bad out there. People are starting to get out, do their morning routines, get their morning coffee. You're going to need a little bit of that warm beverage, coffee or tea this morning because it is on the cooler side. Range line I-44 from our MoDOT camera. It looks a little bit hazy, but that's probably just the camera because right now our fog tracker looks pretty good. Our driving conditions across the entire area are looking really good right now, so just be careful though anyway as you're driving. Fog can appear and disappear very quickly. All right, let's take a look at our regional temperatures and why it's going to be so warm over the next few days. We're seeing a little bit of a blend between some south winds and some northwesterly winds, but eventually those warm south winds are going to start to take over as we progress through today and into Thursday. But let's take a look at today at noon. There's that blend of those winds that I was talking about. Nice clear sunny skies through the morning and even through the afternoon. And by the time we get to about 4 o'clock, the winds, you can start to see a little bit of a shift now from the east. And eventually by 6 p.m. and through the overnight, you'll see those winds start to shift back to the south, bring in some nice warmer weather for tomorrow as well. By about 5 a.m., some clouds do start to build back in, and those will continue through the morning, but we'll still have those nice southerly winds, and it'll eventually start to warm up. Noon, pretty much mostly cloudy skies, but by the time we get to the early afternoon and into the evening, the clouds dissipate. We start to see nice, beautiful sunny skies, and the winds will bring in that nice warm air for Thursday. But looking at right now, 5:50 in the morning, we're seeing a wide range of temperatures, lower 30s to mid 40s across the area. 44 in Joplin right now. Neodesha, you're at 33. Chanute, you're at 32. So you're on the colder side out there. So it's still, jackets are needed right now, and our fuel light temperatures are no different. Pretty much about the same temperature range as we saw for surface temperature. So jackets are still needed until we get to about the later parts of this morning. 44 degrees at 8 a.m. Sunny skies through the morning. We get up to 61 at 11 a.m. and we're going to warm up to that 67 degree high by about the 2 to 4 o'clock hour, but sunny skies through the day. Winds are going to be nice and calm, so it's not going to be as windy as it was yesterday. It's going to be a nice, comfortable day. But we are going to see some November lows. We can see about 46 degrees for overnight low, and we're going to have a gradual cool down. 62 degrees at 6 p.m., dropping to 50 at 10. Like I said, dropping to 46 overnight. But it's going to be a nice clear night. Winds out of the south at a nice 5 miles an hour. Taking a look at our 10-day. So 67 degrees for today. It's going to be a pretty nice day. Tomorrow, 72 degrees, just mostly sunny, but it is going to be on the breezier side. There is going to be some wind tomorrow, but not as windy as it was yesterday. For Friday, nice 75 degrees, sunny skies. Saturday, even warmer, 78 degrees. Some areas might see 80, but I'm going to say 78 degrees for most of our area. Sunday, dropping a little bit to 73, but still a pretty nice day. And then by the time we get to Sunday night into Monday, we're going to see a system that's going to start pushing through, possibly bringing in some rain showers Sunday night and Monday. But Monday is still going to be 74 before it cools back down on Tuesday to the mid-50s. And you can see pretty much the rest of the week from Wednesday through next Friday it's going to be rain for those couple of days. But that's still pretty far out, so we're going to keep an eye out on that as the week progresses and see if that rain does stick around later next week. But right now, a warm trend is coming in that will stick around through the end of the work week and through the end of our weekend before it starts to cool back down again. That's a look at your full forecast. Another hour of news and weather coming up.
Hey kids, it's time to let Santa know what you want for Christmas. Santa's elves have teamed up once again with Joplin's Parks and Recreation Department to collect letters to Mr. Kringle starting today through November 12th and running through December 11th. One park official says she loves the kids' approach to writing such important letters.
I just enjoy seeing their face and not the imagination, but like their dreams coming to fruition, telling Santa like what they want, what they've always wanted. I think that's really cute and sweet.
Kids can drop their letters off at 3 locations: the Joplin's Parks and Recreation Office on 1st Street, Academy Sports on Rangeline, and Joplin History and Mineral Museum on Schiffendecker.
Well, it is a little cold as you're waking up this morning, but we will gradually see a warm up to about the upper 60s across most of our area. But 44 degrees at 8 a.m., warming up to 61 degrees at 11 a.m., and we're going to see sunny skies through the morning, and that trend will continue through the afternoon as well. 65 degrees at 12 p.m. and getting up to that high of about 67 by that 2 to 4 o'clock hour. A nice sunny day, nice calm winds compared to how it was yesterday. And overnight we're going to see a little bit of a cool down, gradual cool down. 62 degrees at 6 p.m. Clear skies through the afternoon or through the evening into the overnight. 50 degrees at 10 p.m. dropping down to 46 degrees overnight with a nice south wind of about 5 miles an hour, and that will lead to some beautiful sunny skies tomorrow as well. So 67 degrees today, 72 for tomorrow. On the breezier side, we can see wind gusts about 20, so it won't be as windy as it was yesterday, but a nice Friday, 75 degrees, and even warmer on Saturday at 78. And then there is going to be another cool down coming after Monday, dropping into the 50s again with rain chances as well. So let's really enjoy this nice weather that we're going to have to end our work week and also into our weekend before it starts to cool down again later next week.